And that is it.
And stops there.
That stops there.
Now, this is some of the things that as Ugandans we need to learn. If we were to have the patriotism we are talking about, if we were to have that love for our country, then we need to know what symbols make us to be Ugandans, what makes us to look proud when we are Ugandans, and one of them is a national flag. Definitely we don't need to abuse it like that.
Yes, of course, this is not the first time it is happening. We've seen it really happening. And
yeah.
As you say, I don't know, to me I think really we don't need legislation this, but it's just a question of enforcement.
Yes,
because
true.
really, yeah, there's a precedence. I believe there are a number of laws that really talk about that, that wouldn't have to get into a special legislation. But also, it calls for love, because ideally, like President Museveni sometime back when he moved around the country, teaching about patriotism, he talked about patriotism is love. Yes, that once you have love with you, you'll always love what belongs to you, and that is the beginning of patriotism. Yes, dear viewer, we are still with us on UBC TV, and yes, the body of the remains of the late Right Honorable Jacob Lokori Oulanyah being driven from Entebbe to the A+ funeral home, where the body will be handed to the family, I think, on Sunday.
Yes.
Yes. I don't know if it's the family or Parliament, but at least that's when the body.
No, it will be handed to the family.
To the family,
and
yes.
then after the functions at the family, then the body will be picked from the family to Parliament. But of course, it is being managed by the police. So all of that will be done in coordination with the relative government agencies.
Yes, as you can see, the convoy is making way to Kampala, and today I can see there is no traffic, heavy traffic. Yes, of course, the paved way for the convoy so that it can arrive at the A+ funeral home in time. But also, we shall also need to know what happens at the A+ funeral home, of course, when the body is being now. When it arrives, what exactly happens is also something that Ugandans will want. It will be
a private arrangement, because what happens in a funeral home, of course, most of for those who have had relatives gone there, is to ensure that the body is well embalmed, that doesn't go bad, but also to ensure that issues of hygiene, issues of doing. So many people will definitely lose him, but we also looking at him as a very organized person in Parliament, because he has over time learned from what his predecessors have been doing in Parliament, and he had also become a darling of the members of Parliament, but also the people of this country. And it will blend with whichever community in this country, be it in the West, be it in the East, be it in Uganda here, and all the parts of Uganda. So I think that's the other aspect, because there's also one thing, being a politician and being a leader, but it's also a different story, winning the people's hearts. People's hearts. That is a factor, because we have even seen some leaders, but who are very aloof from the communities, let alone other communities where they don't come from, but even their home communities where they come from.
No, I think Oulanyah shared traits with the likes of Jerry Rawlings, the likes of KK in Zambia, because those are leaders who are known for really who like dancing. Yes, even when they were presidents, actually they would have time to dance. Even when they're in power, they really have time really for dancing. That is very, very something I find they share in common. Sure. Is that they really like dancing. The question is, do we see the traditional dances around? Perhaps is there anything that also they will be doing later today?
Say it again. Say that again.
When you talk about the traditional dancers, are they anywhere near that perhaps also they have a role to play now?
Well, no, those are actually not here because the only activity that is happening here is now handing over the body here to the funeral managers who will keep it. And the only event or activity that is happening here is to receive the body here and to keep it in the funeral home because we were given the program earlier on that when the body comes and being received, then it will be handed over to A+, the funeral managers who are responsible in charge of all these events. The only persons that we can see here, apart from the Speaker of Parliament and the Chief Justice of Uganda and a few ministers that we can land our eyes onto, the rest of the persons here, members of the family and some staff from the Parliament of Uganda. So the traditional dancers are not here, and I think they did their performance and their ceremony and what they were supposed to do at the airport, and they are actually not where we are here in Mengo.
Na mtazamaji mpendwa wa ABC TV, sasa hivi tu katika nyumba ya wafu au ya A+ ambapo pale Mengo, ambapo mwili wake aliyekuwa spika wa bunge marehemu Jacob Lokori Oulanyah unaenda kuhifadhiwa hadi Jumapili, ambapo utapelekwa nyumbani kwake Mienga kwa ajili ya ibada ya wafu. Kama tunavyoona shughuli ya leo au sasa hivi inaendelea, inasimamiwa na spika pamoja na jaji mkuu kama utaratibu au sheria ilivyo. Na baada ya shughuli ya sasa, kama tunavyoona, kwa kweli mambo mengi ni mageni kwetu na tunaendelea kujifunza nini hasa kinachofanyika spika akiwa madarakani anapofariki. Utaratibu wa mazishi yake ni mambo mageni kwetu, na kwa kweli mengi tunajifunza, na pale tunapoona dosari au mambo yanayokinzana na mila na desturi zetu kama Waafrika, lazima wabunge na bunge la 11 lishughulikie hivyo vipengele ili tuwe na sheria ambazo zinaenda sambamba, ambazo zinafikiana na utamaduni wetu kama wananchi wa Uganda, unaendana na tamaduni zetu kama watu wa jumuiya ya Uganda, hata na vile vile sisi wa Afrika, kwa sababu kuna mambo ambayo kwa kweli unaona kwamba ni kama maajabu, ni mambo ya ajabu kusema kwamba hiki kinaendelea wakati bado marehemu hajazikwa, au jambo fulani linaendelea wakati marehemu hajazikwa. Ni swala ambalo wengi wameomba lishughulikiwe. Naam, ndugu Jagenda yupo pale Mengo, na kweli ameendelea kutupasha taarifa, kutupa habari kuhusu yale yanayoendelea. Ni siku ya majonzi, ni msiba mkubwa, tunasema makiwa buriani Mheshimiwa Jacob Lokori Oulanyah. Yes, ndugu Mtuta, yes, these are very, very new things that we keep learning, especially funeral service provider. Now we're seeing the importance.
Go! Thank you. The parade is now being mounted and, of course, receiving the body here at the funeral home. And, of course, our call also asked for the bola dancers. Where we were, we hadn't seen them, but, of course, here they are to still perform the cultural dance for the warriors, as we earlier on had from the Chief Justice telling us what that was, and one of the members of Parliament from Gago County, the Honorable Alagen James from Gago, who explained to us what that dance means and why they have to do the dance, and actually this is what the dance they are doing. And of course the parade is also being mounted here, and let's be part of this event as the body is being brought into the funeral home here for management until Sunday, when it will be again taken home for service, and thereafter the programs will continue ensuing, as Ariaron told to us by Minister Babiri Emile Babalanda, the chairperson of the organizing committee of this particular event. We are at the funeral home in Mengo, at the A+ home, where the body of Jacob Lokori Oulanyah, the fallen Right Honorable Speaker of Parliament, will be kept for tonight and of course the following nights, as we will get to know. Okay. The bola dancers, of course, continue to do what they do based on, of course, the royal performances or the royal dance that is normally done to somebody from the culture of the Acholis and the Langis, who is well recognized for their contribution and who they are. It's a royal warrior song that normally happens. It happens when somebody has died, like we're seeing. It also happens when there is a victory to celebrate, but it also happens when there is death, like we seeing right here. It is a day that we all live to remember, a very sad day, a very sad moment, and a very somber event for the country of Uganda, the family of Jacob Oulanyah, the Parliament of Uganda, and of course the community in Omoro in Gulu district, where the fallen member of Parliament was representing the people in there and was saying. It is where we still are. We will just have an opportunity maybe to talk to a few persons here. As you can see, the body has now been locked into the home there, and I just saw just persons here that we can talk to, and the bola dancers, as you saw, and of course they continue to do their performances like they've always done. This is a traditional dance for warriors. It is done to people like Jacob Oulanyah. The body has finally been handed over to the funeral managers here at A Plus in Mengo, as you can continue to see. And of course, this is kind of the celebrations. Let's be part of the celebration.